Are there magazine capacity limits in Illinois? Have you ever wondered about the rules surrounding magazine capacity limits in Illinois? This topic has sparked a lot of discussions, especially among those who care about Second Amendment rights. Let's break down what you need to know. Illinois has set specific magazine capacity limits under the Protect Illinois Communities Act, which took effect on January 10, 2023. According to this law, a large capacity ammunition feeding device is defined as any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds for rifles or shotguns, or more than 15 rounds for handguns. This means that if you own a magazine that exceeds these limits, it is generally prohibited to manufacture, deliver, sell, or purchase it within the state. Starting April 10, 2023, possession of these large capacity magazines is also restricted. However, there is an exception for individuals who legally own these magazines before the law was enacted. Those individuals can keep their magazines but must follow strict guidelines on how they can be used and transported. For example, large capacity magazines must be stored on private property and can only be used with permission on private property that is not open to the public. They can also be used at licensed firing ranges. If you need to transport them, they must be unloaded and placed in a case while traveling to approved locations. This law effectively bans the acquisition of new large capacity magazines and limits the use of previously owned ones to very specific situations. Common magazines for our style rifles, which often hold 30 rounds, exceed the allowed capacity and are therefore illegal to purchase or sell in Illinois under this law. From a Republican viewpoint, these restrictions are seen as an infringement on Second Amendment rights. Many argue that these limits hinder lawful gun owners from using firearms with higher capacity magazines for self-defense, sport shooting, or other legal activities. They believe that such limits do not effectively reduce crime but instead place unnecessary burdens on responsible gun owners. The focus, they argue, should be on enforcing existing laws against criminals rather than imposing restrictions on magazine capacities. In summary, Illinois law clearly states that magazine capacities are limited to no more than 10 rounds for rifles and shotguns, and no more than 15 rounds for handguns. With strict rules on possession and use, these limits reflected the state's approach to gun control. Many Republicans view these regulations as overly restrictive and contrary to the principles of the Second Amendment.